What's up, guys? I've been getting a lot of questions recently from people who play Overwatch who have asked me how I got to Grandmaster in the course of what seems like one season. And just so you guys know, when I first made the Hanzo tips video, that was back right after the beta had launched. I used a lot of the beta clips, just made a quick tips video, put that up there. Now it's sitting around like 8,000 views. That's just back when I was brand new to the game, basically, and I got pretty good at Hanzo and controlling it. But as a result of that, I played Hanzo. I was only 60 Season 1. Season 2, I got right underneath Diamond, dropped down after playing with a friend who was brand new to Overwatch. I decided to play comp with them, and they weren't that good, so we dropped down, and it wasn't too fun. But and then Season 3, everything changed, and you're going to notice something here. I want you to pay attention to the character selection thing right here. Season 3, it changes, okay? You'll notice I jumped from Plat all the way up to Grandmaster, and the main character I played changed. Now we'll go to Season 4, same deal. We got up to 4189 that time, same deal, Soldier 76. That is the way I got from stuck in Plat all the way up to Grandmaster. And the 38, 36 is because I stopped playing the last like 4 weeks or whatever it was. I didn't play at all. So basically, that's step 1. Okay, and this is wrapped into a bunch of kind of seemingly obvious tips to somebody who's made the climb, but to people who are newer, they might not realize it. Is if you're going to play a DPS character, make sure you play one that is consistent and useful. Okay, so Hanzo is very niche in terms of what his kit can do and what he's capable of doing. And if your character, or if the character you're picking, I should say, doesn't provide sustainable damage to the team in such a way that you can set up plays or make picks that aren't reliant on just landing a lucky headshot here and there because Hanzo shoots logs out of his bow, you're picking the wrong character, okay? So that's step 1. Step 2 is get really comfortable and go into use this training range. So go into training, go into practice range, get inside here, and there's some drills you can run using Hitscan characters that I got really good at over the course of playing that will help you a ton, okay? So there's a few drills that you can do to get really good at Hitscan characters. This counts for McCree and Soldier. Widow isn't really, I don't really want to counter as such because she's another one of the sniper ones that you have a separate set of I guess training things that you can do. So the first thing I do to make sure I'm warmed up is I just enter in this area. Let me turn on the sound so I can talk over it. I enter in this area and I'll just practice headshots. I'll just do basic headshots in the training zone, you know, on these moving targets and the stationary ones. I'll do it at different ranges, different stuff, you know, just warming up mouse fingers, the movement keys, warming everything up, getting used to everything, and then I'll start working my way into the 5-round bursts. Okay, so if you're a soldier main, or if you want to become a soldier main, you should really learn how to do the 5-round burst. And to make sure you understand what that is, if you're brand new, you see how my the reticle in the middle is just a solid dot. If you shoot, you'll start to see it open up after a few shots. Now you wouldn't see it there because it's blue and I'm kind of shooting really close to the thing, but we'll back up a little bit. So you'll notice after the first 5 shots, that's when the bloom starts kicking in, and that's when you don't have perfect accuracy. I'm getting shot by a robot. So watch here. So I'm going to shoot one by one, and you'll see how the dot doesn't expand at all, okay? Now if I shoot 3-round bursts, same deal. Now if I shoot 5-round bursts, you're going to notice the circle starts jumping. See how it jumps out right there after about 5? Now if you watch the ammo counter, watch what happens when it hits 20. You kind of have to jump back and forth, but you'll see the second it hits 20 is when that bloom kicks in, okay? Now at that first shot, it's small bloom, but after that 6th shot, you're going to have huge bloom and you're not going to hit anything. So if you see, it's kind of hard to tell from here, but if you do, so if we're using this shooting range feature right here, if we do single shots, right, you're always going to hit that center target. It's always going to be that orange target every single time, okay? But the second you hold it down too long, you're going to start noticing, see how these gray ones are starting to move now? That's not good, okay? Because if you're aiming at somebody's head from distance, and your bloom is too high, and you're in this game there's not really any recoil, but that's basically what it would be counted as. You'll notice that even though I was holding down the key right there, and each one of those shots were going off, I missed about 4 right there. Whereas if I do it to this one, and I just do the, let's do a fresh guy right here. If I do the 5-round bursts, it's actually faster if you do a 5-round burst to land your headshots and finish the target, get the pick, okay? This counts the same way when you're fighting actual characters. It's the same deal, okay? So that's step 1, is I'll run through and I'll do this. I'll just go around, I'll shoot, just make sure everything's warmed up. So, from here, after you've practiced that 5-round burst for a bit, what you want to make sure you're starting to do is one of 2 things, okay? And I'll go over the first one first. Disable your UI, okay? For those of you who have played World of Warcraft, you know the keybind. For those of you who haven't, it's Alt-Z. That is Alt-Z on your keyboard. You disable the UI completely. Notice how I don't see anything. There's no health bar, there's no ultimate charge, there's nothing. There's no reticle especially, and that's the important one, okay? But you'll notice I can still hit those shots in the head. See how I'm still hitting headshots? Now before anybody in the comments starts yelling out that I'm aimbotting, like everybody loves to do, this is not an aimbot, this is just after a long time of playing Soldier. You get an idea, you know that the reticle is in the center of your screen regardless, okay? You know for a fact that it's there. You know that there's no bloom initially, and if you've been practicing your 5 shots, you notice that you can hit the headshot still. And that's a very important thing to be practicing because it gets rid of your need to rely on the recoil or on the reticle, okay? So that's step 2, is once you have adopted to the lack of a reticle, you can re-enable it. And you can still hit those headshots, and you know they're headshots when it's off if the hit marker is red. So you see how you can see bright red when you hit the head. That's just the way you know. A little bit easier. And if your sound is on, obviously you'll hear the dink. So here, so we'll turn off the reticle, and then we'll listen here. These are normal. Those were headshots. Okay. See the difference? Easy. Alright. We'll turn the sound back down. So, moving forward from that, the final step you should do, and this is something that I do, and this is how I know that I'm warmed up 100% and I'm ready to go. That all my flicks are on point, I've done all this. You can do all those, you can look up a ton of videos on how to do the different practice things in training mode, you can do all sorts of stuff. Some people tell you to practice flick shots, as a hit scan, you want to practice flicking. And that can help depending on who you're fighting against, in current meta where it's, I guess right now it would be dive meta. Flicking is really extremely useful, but you don't want to practice something that isn't gonna, like if you can't aim normally, practicing flicking is not going to help you as much as it should. Okay, you need to know how to aim normally. You need to know how to, control the weapon regardless. Because you can flick all you want, but if you can't hit shit when you're flicking to that target, it's not going to matter. So the primary focus, especially as soldiers, is to practice that 5-shot, or to practice just acquiring targets normally and to start increasing in difficulty as time goes on. Okay, so you can start doing flick shots from there. Now, something else I would recommend you do, and this is the final step like I was telling you about, is go for a sextuple kill when you're in this mode. Okay, and don't cheat, don't set it up where it's like, let me weaken this guy and weaken this guy and then weaken that guy and then kill all of them with an alt. Do it properly, okay? And keep going as long as it takes you to get the sextuple kill. And this is something that I've learned. If I do this, I tend to have higher accuracy in the games following because I was able to warm up the acquiring targets on a rapid basis, getting straight up headshots and weakening them all the way down from full health. And you notice that it's not exactly easy. So if they have full health, you have to hit all of your headshots. You have to hit at least 4, I believe that was 4 right there. I don't remember what it is for the training bots. But you basically need to be able to control not only the headshots per target, the acquiring targets, and the proper reload times to actually get the chain kills, okay? So that's how you know you're ready to play competitive, or that's at least how I know how I'm ready to play competitive when I go to do it. So these are just some quick tips on how you can abuse and get used to Soldier and just other DPS, especially hit scans, to get your rank higher up. Anyway, guys, if you have any specific questions, hit me up with them. I'm free to answer them in the comments. I know a lot of people asked questions about Hanzo last time I did the Hanzo thing, so I figured I'd hit you with another Overwatch. Just some rambling garbage, you know? See what comes of it. If anybody wants any more specific stuff for different characters, I'll go into it. Just let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for checking out the video. Peace.